Oh, morning campers. I thought I'd come on and do a bit of a live video while I've got a bit of time. I thought what I might do is do a bit of a look around the livery. We've got a competition on the group, the Facebook group at the moment. By the way, if you're not on the Facebook group, Train Sim World UK Facebook group, which is this is a supporting YouTube channel. We are doing a competition based on the Livery Editor. So people can submit pictures of their liveries in various. It's more of a picture competition, but the livery also, I suppose, comes under competition, which enables people to kind of share their ideas. So we've got that competition going on. So while we're kind of talking about that, I thought I'd have a quick look at the livery um, editor and scenario designer, which kind of can come hand in hand, and I'll show you how I've used it. So if I go to Great Western, so tools, we'll go to Livery Editor. So Livery Editor, I have only done 3 liveries. I've worked on 3 liveries on the 375. So I've worked on Great Western Railway. Now, a GWR, and as you can see there, I've put 387-140. The reason why I put 387-140 is because I've renumbered or reskinned the 375 to make it look like a 387. Now, I appreciate there are some quite significant physical differences between a 377 and a 375 and a 387. However, this is the closest unit you're going to get because of the same sort of design. I've also done it in NSE grey, and I've also done it in NSE white. That's Network Southeast. So let's just have a quick look at my Network Southeast white one. Now I've hit a bit of a stumbling block with this one. I'll show you why in a minute. So this is my NSE Southeast white one. This has been built traditionally to show the regional express Network Southeast livery. So that is a more of a white livery. Obviously you can see the colours. I've also got my hand in front of the logo. That was quite tricky, as you can see. The alignment isn't quite there, but I can go back in and change that. The other thing I'm working on, but I've hit a bit of a stumbling block, is the logo. So I started doing the logo network, and then I've realised Southeast is hollow. It's outlined, and I haven't quite figured out how to finish that off yet. So I'm kind of stuck at the moment with that one. However, that is what it looks like. So yeah, there's that's my Network Southeast in a bit of a tribute to that, because what I was thinking was a bit of a what if, like what liveries would these type of trains have worn if they'd have been around in that time, and these are the liveries I'm thinking of. So let's have a look at the other one. The other one I'd done was more of an urban, very similar to what the Thameslink 319s wore, and a bit more close to what like the old slam door trains used to wear. So this is the NSE Grey. This is the first one I did. So yeah, so as you can see, it's a bit similar to the white one. I did this one first. It's grey with the grey underline. There's a bit of a bigger gap as well between the red stripe and the blue. I haven't done any logos on this one. I thought I'd work on the white one more, but this is the Urban Network Southeast liveried one which I worked on. So yeah, that's what I've done with that one. Again, I've not put no numbers on or logos or anything on this. I've not even put no stickers on. But I'll take you now to my Great Western Express one, which I have highlighted a couple of times. So I thought this one I have done a lot of work on, and I'm quite proud of this one, to be fair. And it just shows you can do it. So let me show you this one, which I've built specifically to be in my GWE scenario. So as you can see, this is a GWR green liveried 375, which I've renumbered as a 387. Now I've gone quite detailed with this one. As you can see, if you look, I've actually put stickers on. The overhead wire stickers, the do not train serve stickers, they're all been put on. Additional to this, I've also done the Great Western Railway logo. It probably could do with a bit of alignment, but yeah. But I've also put vehicle numbers. So I've actually put the actual vehicle numbers of this train. This is the actual vehicle numbers for this train. Although, admittedly, you can't see them very well on the game, but they are there. But again, I'll show you each one I've done. Yeah, 423140. So these are the proper numbers for this train, 424. So it goes through. It goes through 421 to 424 140, which is the actual vehicle numbers. Obviously, you can see inside it's a Southeastern. It's a shame we can't do the interior, but you can see inside it's a Southeastern 375, obviously. But yeah. So this is my proudest one. I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed this one. Now I must even with the grey roof. So I must advise you of something now. I had quite a few issues with. Now I'm on the PlayStation 4, just to kind of let you know that. And I had a few issues with the actual. I had a couple of times I had this crash on me, and I lost the data, all the save data for the scenario design for the Livery Editor. So what I had to do was I've had to use a USB stick to every so often I back up the save data. Now if you don't know how to do that, unfortunately I can't show you, because when you go onto the PlayStation's menu it goes blue on your live thing, so I can't actually show you. But what you basically do is you go into if you're on a PlayStation, you go into your settings, you go to storage, and then you have an option to save backup storage to a USB stick, external stick or external storage, and then you follow the process and you can choose which files you want to choose. Sometimes I do all of them every so often, so it backs them up, and then you can just do the individual save file. So just bear that in mind if you are on a PlayStation. I don't know if it works on the other consoles or not, but I mean I'd suggest you back it up anyway, especially if you work so hard on a livery. I'm not sure. I'm sure it's probably slightly easier to do these liveries on a PC because you've got a mouse. You can use a mouse on a PlayStation, but obviously, again, that's your own personal preference. I've not done too bad with the joystick. It is a bit difficult when it comes to trying to line things up because it's really sensitive, but for the most part, it's all right. Let's come out of that. So now that you've seen those 3 liveries that I've been working on, to be fair, the Network Southeast one I did quite quick. Now, the good thing about the Livery Editor is once you've got the one car sorted, you've pretty much got the rest of the train sorted, because you can copy in packs. I suppose I should show you what that means. So if you create a logo or something, sorry, I've come out of that and something before. I should have showed you something. So if you don't know how to do this yet, so if let's have a quick look at the logo. I've got what packs I've got saved. Right, see these here? These with these circles are packs. So what that basically means is it's a group. As you can see, it's 103 to 108. So these groups, you group them up. So if I open them out, it's just numbers, look. And then you can just group them together. Like that. Then press triangle, that groups them back up. Then what it means is when you copy that, it copies the whole group of numbers. Which means you can copy it to other cars, you can copy it to anywhere. That was more prominent for this, the logo. Again, the logo, it's a group of shapes, colours, and the writing GWR, which is brilliant because obviously you do it once, and once you've done it, you copy it, and then you then copy it to the rest of the train. Now the GWR logo does 2 different ways. It's the other way as well, like that. What I did with that one was I did the shape first that way, and then once I got that shape, I copied that shape, and then I just mirrored it. That was it. So that's how that works. It's actually really easy. So it's a lot easier than it looks. So yeah. Right, so let's have a quick go on my scenario. By the way, what I was finding was if you update a livery and then go into use it on this, it would oh, I've gone straight into a. I was going to quickly show you the different trains, but it's okay, it's fine. You can have a look. So the train that I'm jumping into at the moment is a. But I'll show you a little trick as well as scenario design if you want. So at the present moment in time, trains don't seem to seed. So let's say you have a train that leaves at 10 o'clock, 10:05, 10:10, 10:15. If you spawn into the 10:10, trains at 10:05 and 10 o'clock are seeded, but they don't move. So that means they'll be stuck there. So if you've got a train that's supposed to be ahead of you, it's going to be stuck there. So what I found the best thing to do is to by the way, I'm just highlight. I'll put all the safety systems on. So so what I find sometimes you can do, if you've got the time to do it, is you can actually spawn into one train, but then move into another train. Nice wet day. Right, I've just got rid of the hub. Oh, those. So there's my train. As you can see, I've got a GWR livery train there, and I've got a Network South East train there. Let's go. So in this design, at the moment, I've got 20 trains, but I did that before they did all the improvements with the routes and added more infrastructure. So I'm going to have a little bit of a more of an intense look around it. Get me what they're on. Yeah, I've opted for wet. I drove class 40 in the rain yesterday, and that weather will translate over if you don't change it to your scenario. There's my 20s on the hopper train. At the moment you can't do livery designer with the 20s. You can only do any new trains that have been released in TSW2, and the 377 and the 66 of the preservable. That's it at the moment. But eventually, hopefully, we'll be able to do all of them, because I'm quite looking forward to getting hold of the HSTs and some of the locos. So I'm looking forward to that. So yeah, I have all the safety systems to get on. When I'm going to jump out of this. Oh, I'm going to jump out of this and get into another train at Southall, which is the next stop, and then I'll have a bit more of an extensive look around the train. Now I've got some HSTs in Southall West Yard. One's just left or leaving. One's stood in, as you can see, one stood there. Look, that goes to Reading. I'm going to remove that from the scenario eventually, because it was just a bit of a test, really. You might have seen a video I did a couple of weeks ago of it stood there, and then I let a load of trains pass, and then I finally followed another train. So yeah, I'm going a bit too fast in the wet as well. Got to be careful. I've not ran any of these as 8 cars yet. I've left them as 4s for the time being, but I probably will expand them to 8 cars maybe when I tweak my scenario. As it's wet, I'm taking it steady. There's the 4 car board there. Just let it break off a little bit and steady roll. And then I've gone straight past it. The brakes are really strange on this. Like, you feel like you're about to stop and also it just keeps going. Right, so I'm getting out of this now. And I'm going to have a wander over to this free. Hoping I get run over because I know there's a train due. Door. Open that one. I'll move. sort out the safety systems. So this is the safety systems isolation switch. If you want the safety systems on, such as your AWS, your TPWS, your vigilance and that, you've got to turn these on. Now, you're probably wondering, hang on, what happened to your train? Well, I'll show you. There we go. It'll ask me if I want to take over, which I will. And then that one will go on its merry way. Like so. So that's another GWR liveried one. Okay, admittedly, it's the same number. But the reason why it's the same number is because when I tried to duplicate the numbers, it crashed on me. Oh, beep beep. So off that goes. So that stops all stations to London. Whereas this one is an express non-stop. So this is running on the Hayes and Harlington fast path. So yeah. And this don't leave till 10:10. But what I can do is while I'm here, let's get the cab set up. So I can set the cab up. But what happens? So yeah, you can leap between trains, which is better if you want trains. So if you want to do a later train, you might have to leap into one train and then do another. Now, oh god. So what? Yeah, it thinks I'm driving that train still. It does do that sometimes, but the train seems to keep going. So I'm not really sure what that's about. I'm set up in this train now. So right. So let's have a quick look round then. My lights are all set up. It's a bit damp, it's a bit wet. So as you can see, look in the flesh now. Now the number is supposed to be there. But for some reason, it's not there. Can't see it. Doesn't seem to transpose over. It's almost like they couldn't be bothered to produce it. Or either that or it's just too dark. Let's go on the other side and have a look. It's too dark that side as well, isn't it? So the number of the vehicle should be there somewhere, but it's not. So I don't know. It doesn't seem to transpose onto the full livery. It looks nice. That's just one of those things, I think. So while I'm here, while we wait, let me just go over to this HST. Obviously this is a bog standard HST, but I'm like, what I was looking at is the colour. Now it's a bit shiny. There's a shinier, glossy look to the HST. But I like to think that the colours I've got pretty bang on. There's an South East one. So we have this Network South East liveried, all stopping as well. It's always good for a photo opportunity, isn't it? A few liveries there. Just rolling in. Hopefully it stops in a relatively nice spot. I think I've took a similar picture before, but it's a good opportunity to take a bit of a picture as well. And it rolls. So that's not too bad a shot, is it? That shows two of my liveries. So I've just done a screenshot and try and do a bit more of a highlight. Let's take a quick picture while it's still in the platform with my phone, because I tend to take a picture of my phone a lot on the screen because I've got a really good screen, so it doesn't pick up any flickers or anything like that. So that's going to be I might enter that into the competition. A couple of shots there of my liveries. HST coming. That's my 10 o'clock. Service off London. Right, I'm about to leave in a minute, so let's get ready. Let's get the wiper on as well, I think. Yeah. So I should be seeing that in a few minutes. I should be overtaking it. But yeah, I'll do a bit more work on it. So first, again, I'll put the safety stickers on and a unit number or something. Also, if you do have liveries that you've done in Livery Designer, they do randomly spawn into your timetable mode as well. So whether I've chosen these on this scenario, on timetable mode, they will randomly appear in your timetable mode. So, yeah, should be. And here we go. Let's get going. Shut them doors. Oh, I never opened them. Good. Let's go. Let's open up. Oh, bit of slipping now. Traction. I'm slipping on the wet. If you get that, if you hold that down, well, this is how it works on the 377. But if you hold that down, it's supposed to drop sand. If you are struggling, drop the power off until you get a bit of speed. Start catching trains up, so I should overtake my network South East liveried 387 and my other GWR liveried 387, so to speak. Oh, haha! I've left on the unlock doors marker. Oh well, doesn't really matter. So this is express service to London Paddington, non-stop on the Hayes and Harlington fast path. Using my GWE liveried 375, which masquerades as a 387. I've even put the number on, 387140. I have put the vehicle numbers on, but you can't see them, unfortunately. So I feel like that's a bit of a waste of time, but it still looks nice in the Livery Editor. So yeah. Right. I'm in the wet and the rain, so let's see what entertainment we get with that. Oh, got me vigilance. So the vigilance, that beeping noise is the vigilant, means you haven't touched the controls for 60 seconds. How you cancel that is you press that, or, well, although it doesn't work, it works on the 377 but doesn't seem to work on this, you can move your PBC. And that should stop it, but it doesn't seem to do it on this at the moment. It does it on the 377 though, and it does it on the 166. There's my network South East one. As I go flying through Hanwell at 80 miles an hour, it's picked up speed well. Oh, that's leaving as well. In the rain, taking it steady. I've got a green, good. Soft goes on my network South East grey. Approaching West Ealing. At 90 miles an hour, picked up speed quick. I mean, I used to say, I did a bit of a test with the 395, and I mean, don't get me wrong, that was really quick. I did about 110, but I got to Ealing Broadway. But this isn't doing bad at all, 95. It's like it's on acid. There's the double 166, which I've got on the fast lines to Reading, stopping at Slough only, I think. Yeah, you can also, obviously, just you can also use the ADS acknowledgement to cancel the vigilance should you get caught out. Right, I should have the GWR liveried 387. Yeah, I think I can see it. So, but the one that I was spawned into when I first started the game. There's a turbo there as well. There it is. Look, that's just leaving. Look. There you go. So that was one I spawned in earlier. Right, I've got to calm down here. I'm doing 105 miles an hour. I better slow down. I can't believe how quick this has picked up speed. So, for those who don't know, just to give you a bit of background, so the 387s are the Great Western Railway's sort of electric trains, which now run between. Now that's supposed to be a pair of 37s. See, so I've set them to be a pair of 37s, but for some reason, a pair of Class 20s keeps appearing. I don't know why. Anyway. Yeah, so 37s are the electric U, which replace a lot of the 166s on the urban Thames Valley routes. They also have replaced the 333s, the Heathrow Express trains, because they've been scrapped. So there's also a Heathrow Express livery. So there's another livery I could work on to kind of get a bit of variation on this modern scenario. approaching Old Oak Common. I'm not sure if when I complete this service it finishes, because I didn't originally spawn into this service. I don't know if it finishes. So that acknowledgement is for the 50 PSR that you need to slow down for just past Old Oak, past the junction, well, just before Lamport Grove. So I'll just take it steady. You can now have trains leaving Old Oak, and I think North Pole as well. I'm not sure. I'll have to have a look. No, I think it's just Old Oak at the moment. So you can actually do some empty stop moves into London if you wanted to on your scenario. That's why I'm gonna build a new scenario and try and get as many passenger trains running as possible. I've got 20 in this scenario at the moment, but it was based on the original restrictions. So the lack of infrastructure. I need to slow down. I'm going a bit slow here. Oh, I've hit emergency brake. Oh no. Well, that's good, because I can show you how to get out of an emergency brake situation on the 375. Because once you go in it, you can't do anything. You're kind of locked out. So, I've accidentally slipped into emergency brake. So what you do is leave it in, slip it into set 3, clip that back to off. Turn off your master key. Oh, yeah. Turn it back on. You literally just restart the desk, and then check. Make sure you get your brake release, so your needle will drop. Lovely. And then there you go. And then we're off again. So you go. Look, that's how you get out of an emergency brake situation. Really nice, not really quick. I know people panic, go, "Oh my god, what do I do? What do I do?" I did when I first did it, but it was actually a simple case of just basically resetting resetting your desk up. That light there is your line light, so that's telling you that you've got continuous power. So not so much on this, but on the routes that these trains actually come on, you might see that popping on and off at times, because it's going between neutral sections, between sections of the electric. You also, that is very prominent on the 395 as well, but I can explain that to you, or if you watch my videos, you might get why, because you have to set the 395's power supply up when you first start. So it's very important that you pay attention to that light. So that upside down triangle with the 40 on is to remind you that the speed is reducing to 40 in, I think it's 3/4 of a mile. There's my 10:10 HST just leaving London. Getting a bit of lagging. I don't normally get that. Or maybe because of the weather setting, perhaps. I'm not sure. So we're weaving back over onto the fast lines again. I don't really understand why it's weaved us in the apologies, why it's weaved us in the first place, to be honest. I'd say Dewsbury is probably my favourite route, and I know it's the first route and it's probably the oldest looking route, but I think I like it because there's so much variation within what you can do, especially with the scenario designer. Plus, it's very familiar to me. Very familiar to me indeed. It's very specific signalling approaching Paddington, and you should always get, if you don't get a red, a yellow. You'll never get a green. If you do, you've got a problem. And then the next PSR is 25 into the station. And as it's a bit wet, I'm going to take it a bit cautious. I think I can spot a network safety livery 387, so to speak, or 375, I should say, sat in the station. I think that leaves at 10:20. It's a shame you can't do more with this scenario designer. It's such a shame you can't. I'm powering. I just realised I've dropped into power. Whoops. Get them brakes on. Yeah, I I went one step too far and was powering. Lovely. There we go. Terminated. Press the right button for that one. Have a quick look round. Oh, that must be the one that arrived in from Reading. So that must be the 10 o'clock off Reading. Oh, dear. 10:20 already. Oh, that's interesting. What's that? Oh no, sorry. Yeah, that's the empty stock from Southall West Yard. I've just realised. Yeah, I have an empty stock coming from Southall West Yard at 10 o'clock. Which I've just realised. Because I had that one, so I could spawn into that, to this, so I could spawn into that one, and then get into that one. Yeah, so that's finished that, because I've took over another train. Yeah, so when I did, so that took 19 minutes. When I did although I was messing around, and I got the emergency braking, but I did it in 17 minutes on the, in 7 minutes on the Javelin, which was good. So there you go, so that's my GWE scenario. With my GWE, it's a shame you can't free roam. I have done a free roam, so what I'll do is I spawn into the earliest train and then I'll have a walk round, take over one of the later trains and just let things roll. So I think I might do that. Bear with me a second. So let me go to my scenario and I'll quickly show you my trains while I'm here. So let's have a look. So I've got 20 trains, but like I say, I did a lot of these. I based a lot of these on. Yeah, so as you can see, earlier you saw a pair of 20s. I've got them as 37/5s. I've got two 37/5 and one 20 times 2. I don't know why it does that. What I might do, I might just redo it and put it on again. It might shake it up. 37/5 by 2 empty flats. Yeah, and that way it might shake it up. Yeah, so I've got 20 trains. I've got a 10 o'clock off London. I've got a 10 o'clock. So on the down, I've got a 10 o'clock HST, a 10:15 HST, a 10:05 pair of 166s. So they all come off. They all go on the down main. Then we've got another down train, so that's 2M01, so that'll go to Reading, that'll be 166, 6 car. Then we've got 2M50, another down train, that's 10:05, so that's 2M, that's Express, that's what's 2M50. Then there's that one that spawned into, which is that up train that uses the up slow, that Hayes-on Harlington to London stopper. There's this Southall Terminator that leaves at 10:20. So that's that Network South East Livery one. That's that one after. That's the one I've just come off. That's the 10:10 off Southall. 12:04. That starts at Slough because it's not underwise. It's in this scenario it's a 166. Then you got 2:99, which terminates at Hayes and Harlington from Reading because there's no more paths. There's no more platforms to arrive into. Then coming on the up, on the up main, you've got 101, that's a HST, and you've got a bit of a gap for 1 Alpha 51. I tried to spread the trains out a little bit so that you had all different ones. Now, like I say, when you spawn into a train later than when the scenario starts, the other trains haven't moved. Well, they never used to move. Now I haven't tested it, so let me spawn into 1 Charlie 8 onto this one and see what happens. Now, what will probably happen is I will what will probably happen is I'll spawn in and there'll just be HSTs and 166s stood everywhere. I'm going to give it a go. just to prove the point. And if they haven't, if trains have gone, Bob's your auntie. It's absolutely brilliant. If they've managed to work out where to seed the trains, that would be much better, much nicer, much easier, and it's a bit more like you're on timetable mode again. But I'm dating it. But we'll test it. Yeah, so yeah, they've not moved. So, and I'll test the theory with you now. Well, I say they've not moved. Let me just have a look. Oh. So this is, yeah, that's not been set up. Those 166s are still there. Yeah, these are. Hang on. So I shouldn't be able to get into this. Do you want to leave service vehicle and take control of this vehicle? No active service. Ah, interesting. Right. Okay, that's interesting. So it's allowing you to go into the train. To be fair, that could be the arrival in from Southport. So what else have we got? But these 166 should have gone by now. They leave at 10 and 10:05. So I'm just going to try these. Yeah, because these should have gone by now. Yeah, not active service. You can go in it, but you can't do anything. HST's gone. So yeah, so that's a bit of a bugger really. So basically all the trains that were booked to depart before that train haven't moved. Okay, so that's proved the theory that that still is a bit of a problem. So let's go back to the main menu, and I'll choose a 10 o'clock train again, but I'm going to come out of it and have a bit of a. I'll spawn into London on a 10 o'clock train. So yeah, I'll spawn into Charlie 1. As you can see, I've got a 70s takeover, but it's not quite complete. It's a bit messy in places. I'm waiting for the BR Blue Pack to be released anyway. Okay. So what I'll do now is I'll jump out of here, and then if I make my way up to this HST, get in, I can take this one over. As long as, so as you've noticed then, it says no active service at the moment, but if I can keep, yeah, service schedule is fine. So I'll get this set up. If you want safety systems on the HST, you've got to isolate these switches here. That's about to go. Turbo. Yeah, I thought turbo. Maybe I was wrong. Just set the train up. Lights on. Lovely. wiper to activate the wipers on the... So the wipers on the HST power car are, you turn them on and you set the speed. So you turn them on, sorry, that part, and then you set the speed that you want. Okay, right, whilst we're stood there, I thought one of these potatoes lifted 10 o'clock. Maybe not. So that's that. I'll leave that fixed there a second. I'm just going to pop to the toilet and top of the cupboard. Hello, I'm back. So, yeah, so here's my scenario. I've got a few trains that leave Paddington at various times. That HST I'm going to be driving, it leaves at 10:15. And then we've got some Turbo Stars over here, which leave around... I thought one left at 10 o'clock, but I think one leaves at 10:05. And then another one leaves at 10:15, I think it is. That leaves at 10:05 as well. And that's that Safe 4 Terminator, which leaves at 10:20, which we won't see because we'll be left before then. So I'm going to be driving that HST out of here, but it also means we'll see a few other things on our travels as well, hopefully. So there's 20 services in North, so obviously there's already 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can see here one's just left at 6, so there's still another 14 trains floating around the network to find. I've got a signal now. They've already given me a signal, which is good. Oh no, it's a signal for that. So that'll be leaving any minute now. Look, and we get a nice, beefy, lovely departure from the 165, which does sound really good. The new 165 sound pack is ever so good. Oh. Ah, there you go. So these two simultaneously leave at 10:05. I did have 3 trains simultaneously departing in one of them, but it caused problems up at Ladbroke Grove. Long story. Or was it 4? Well, no, it would have been 3, wouldn't it? If I was to say anything with the Livery Editor, I know this is the stock livery that comes with it. To say anything with the Livery Editor, it's a shame you can't change the fonts and mess around more with the actual letters. So off they go. They both go to Reading, I think. Yeah, they both go to Reading. One's on the fast all the way, stopping at slow. The other one stops or station, I think, or semi-fast. So that's them. One's gone at 10:05. The next train's I think was one leave at 10:10. You think I'd know my own timetable? I did save my timetable in my phone. Don't fast trains. No trains leave at 10:10. The next departure now are not till 10:15, which is my train and a 126 times 2 to Slough, which must be that one over on platform. Well, it must be the only 126 to Slough. And then that leaves at 10:20 for Southall. That one there, that Network South East one. Let's have a quick look at this Network South East one while we've got a bit of time. So I showed it you in the Livery Editor, and this is it now in the flesh in the game. Yeah, it was pretty good to be honest. I mean, the 375 is good anyway. It's a bit of a, as you can see there, the colours have continued around the back. That it would be black in real life, but it's so difficult to get the black to correspond unless you do the roof, unless you can extend the roof down. But I haven't really worked too hard on that at the moment, so I've not really gone into too much detail. But yeah, like I said earlier, as soon as you create the pack for the livery, you can create a group and then you just copy them to each car. So it wasn't that hard to quickly copy the livery to each vehicle. Obviously the end vehicles have a slight variation because they've got the flicks. But yeah, I'm quite impressed with that. Like I said, I was working on the logo, which, as you can see, I don't know if it's transpired on this yet because it's not saved. What vehicle was it? Was it this one? Or was it the other side? So I think I'm going a bit too fast. I don't need to come back and feel a bit sick at times. Which I haven't had a chance to finish because I've got to work out how to do 8-lined. I don't know what to do really. I don't know whether I can do the same and then try and find a way of getting really small shapes to fill in the hole to create like a hollow effect. So we'll have to see. We shall have to see. So look how bright and colourful the numbers are. Now, see, maybe that's what I need to do. Brighten the numbers and make them bigger. They might run. They might. You see, it says the first group company there. Now, I think it does do that on the 387s as well, but I've not seen a picture to see it. So, but I think what I might do in my Great Western Liveries, I might do that. I might make the numbers bigger and brighter. They might stand out better on the livery designer. Yeah. I mean, some good attention to detail with this train anyway, the 166. But I think, you know, once I can do 166, I will be doing one in Network South East because they were originally released in Network South East. They will be doing that similar. It was that sort of Network South East that this 375's wearing. So I will be doing that. As I've already did a bit of a test run on that one, I kind of already know what to do. It's a shame you can't transfer liveries from train to train. That would be good if you could transfer a livery to another train. But, you know, it's one of them things. But at least with that being a bit of a dry run, I now know how to do the 166 once it comes out. What time is it now? 10:10. Still got a few minutes yet. Still have some trains arriving in. I think I've got my HST coming in from South or West in a bit. Look. Ah, there it is. Just approaching Lambert Grove. It's a stunning looking game, isn't it? Especially with the rain, the wet, really shiny livery. I mean, I've got quite a few pictures of Great Western HSTs in this green, and I think it's slightly brighter really, but it still looks nice. And they've got authentic numbers as well. 43078. Let's see one on the other end. Please don't be the same one. I've had it when it's been the same power car both ends. Yeah. Oh, okay. So there's still a bit of a glitch with that one. Same power car both ends. Oh well. Oh look, the lights are on. The back lights aren't on. Have I got enough time to change them? The problem you've got is once you get out the cab, if you go back in after departure time, you're normally not allowed. So I'm not bothering with the back lights. It's not worth the hassle, is it? And we should have a HST coming in from Southall West Yard. So the little story I've got with that one is it failed on its way out, got put into the sidings, been fixed, now come back into London to work another service. That's my story, that's my scenario. There's also a train stood in Southall West Yard heading north, and that follows my HST out. So get the brake ready. I suppose you've got to put open the doors, haven't I? The HST is about to come in. I think the only slight complaint I've probably got about Paddington, those of you who've been quite good, is normally the power cars appear to be a lot more, I mean it could be the camera angle, but they were a lot more slanted. They seem to be a lot more, I've got pictures and they seem to be like leaning quite a lot, so it's almost like it's a bit too flat. But yeah, you know, it's one of them things, isn't it? You know, like they normally, when I've seen pictures and when I've took pictures, they sort of have a bit of a cant on the track, which doesn't appear to have been transferred over to the game very well. There's a bit of a cant, isn't there? But it's not much. Yeah, it's sort of slightly leaning over. But, I mean, maybe that is actually what it looks like. Maybe it just feels worse when you're stood there. Yeah. I wish those blue ballard things weren't there. Oh, that'll be my unlock the doors. Got the signal, the doors are unlocked. What a miserable morning. Weather is here, because I think I did this because of reflect the weather that's outside, but the weather settings are from yesterday. But today, looking out the window, lovely bit of sun. In fact, I might go out and service the lawnmower before I go to work. I know, high life. I don't know what I've just pressed there. Get ready to lock the doors. Let's go. See how we get on with the bit of wet rail. Brakes have come off. Oh yeah, my doors have got to shut, haven't they? I forget the doors can't be open on this. Yeah, you can have them open on the 377 and 375. It improved the also improved the sound of the HST, which was nice. Not wheel slipping yet. Taking it steady with this wet rail conditions. So it's a bit murky coming out of London. I might have to shut the blinds because the bright lights stopping me from seeing them. Okay, oh, that's a bit better. I've just shut the blinds. See a bit better now. So we've had our first arrival in, which was that empty stop from Southall West Yard. Right, full power now as we start powering toward past Royal Oak. So Royal Oak Underground Station to the right and Royal Oak sidings to the left. Very popular back in the local ward days. 40 at the moment coming out of London, so it's just power off. It's a slight climb coming out of Paddington towards Ladbroke Grove and beyond, so sometimes you can release the power, but you find yourself slowing down. There's the first arrival in. That's Southall Fast, because you do pass an HST, don't you, as you're coming through Westbourne Park, which is just coming up. A bit more power, decide to slow down slightly. Start as we go past Westbourne Park, we go into the 50 PSR. We've also got these PRI indicators to indicate that I have a route straight through. There's the other 387, all stoppers, the 10 o'clock off Hayes and Harrington stopping all stations as we approach Ladbroke Grove. Power up a bit. There was a bit of a, this is a 2+8 HST as well, which was rare on the consoles until the scenario designer came along to show it here. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You'll also notice it's in reverse, so you can choose the formation. Now typically first class, which is at the front on this at the moment, going north, would be leading into London, and now you know that is the buffet is the next vehicle, so it goes power car, first class vehicle, buffet. That would be first class leading into London, but I've reversed the set just because I wanted to. Right, and now it's 100 mile an hour for multiple units, which just does count as a multiple unit, so let's open her up as we start approaching Old Oak. Now, some of the trains I've designed to run on reduced aspects for the challenge of driving. Like, for instance, the pair of 37s leaves Reading about 5 minutes behind, or Maidenhead behind a stopping train. And that's been done on purpose because I wanted to catch it up and have the, slowing down. There's also a turbine that leaves Reading which catches the 37s up. And again, that's just for pure playability. This one shouldn't catch anything up. Vigilance, like I say, goes off every 60 seconds if you don't touch anything. Can be cancelled by pressing the pedal or touching the brake or the accelerator. That does work. There's my Network Safe East 375, which is passing by. On the second, all stops from Hayes and Harlington. And there's the 10 o'clock off of Reading. So as you can see, I've tried to make it quite a busy scenario, but I've also tried to spread out the trains. Once, hopefully, they'll allow more trains in the scenario, and then I'll really go to town. I'm doing 80 at the moment, which is actually the PSR speed as we approach Acton Main Line, and then it goes to 100. Oh no, it's 100, isn't it? Sorry. What am I doing? Yep, it's 100 mile an hour. Then it goes to 125. Sorry, got me speeds mixed up. Now there is a pair of, or should be, a pair of 37s, as you saw me set up in Acton Yard. However, they've been spawning as a pair of 20s. But I think in this case, they should start to move. They leave at 20 past, and they are moving. Yeah, they are. They are moving, look. So they're moving nicely, and they are a pair of 37s. They're going for it, aren't they, look? I don't know why the frame rate, maybe because of it might be the weather that's making the frame rate run like that, but normally it's ever so smooth, so I don't know why the frame rate run the way it is. Unless there's been a bit of a change. Once the frame rate was improved, but 30 frames a second. But it might be the weather setting, might be the rain, and that might be causing the frame rate to drop down slightly. This is running on the PS4 Pro. Normally it's pretty smooth, to be honest. Although there is a lot happening. So you can see already, look, those 37s, they come out that yard, they follow a stopping 166. I think that's why they leave late. So now it's 125, basically just to all the way to already. No, it's 125 all the way to Kennet Loop, Kennet Bridge, just outside Reading. So there we are through West Ealing. There's Hanley sidings, where is a big 387 sidings, which obviously, you know, in real life would have 387 stood there in this modern day. Hamwell, sorry, Hamwell station. And then we go on to Hamwell Viaduct. Hamwell Viaduct was where 50025 got derailed back in 1990, I think it was 89. Derailed and then came to rest at Southall Station on its side. So we've travelled quite a long way. So we're just approaching Southall Station now. As you know, Southall West Yard, both north and south ends, are available to arrive and depart from. So that agency that came in earlier on started here, well, just past the, so come out of this yard here to the left, and that way. You'll also, there's a turbo from Slough. You'll also notice a HST, there, and there's my 37 from Maidenhead, following that stopping train. So it's all go, there's a rogue aided risk acknowledgement coming up. It's for a 75 to go left at Airport Junction, which we don't do and never will do, but unfortunately it's on, so you have to be careful of it and you have to acknowledge it, and there it is there. It always bugs me that you have to acknowledge a speed that you don't traverse, but unfortunately that happens quite a lot on this route. Sailing nicely at 115 miles an hour as we approach Hayes and Harlington. So at the moment there's a bug. I tried to have trains terminate at Hayes and Harlington, but what I found was they stood foul, so you couldn't get past if you were in the relief lines. So what I've now done is had a train terminate there it was the last departure, so that it's not in the way. And there is the class 20s that have just come out of Hayes aggregates. So there's quite a good variation of trains, I've tried to have a good variation of trains. So now that we've seen a few of them, we should see a few more trains passing us in the up direction. I think we've got a couple to try and overtake them down, but I think we've seen a good bulk of them now. Remember, there was 20 trains, and we saw 4 in London. There was 6 in London, so there was another 14, and we've seen quite a few already. So there's still a few left, and we're going to overtake some we've already seen as well. There we go, look. Another one. So it's a busy scenario. I've really tried to make it busy. 121 miles an hour as we approach West Drayton. And another, oh, it's a northbound turbo, isn't it, that left at 10:05. So we just overtook that now. So the only turbo I won't see until we get to Reading is the one that's in front of this one that stops at Slough, that left at 10:05. But that should be probably leaving Slough now. So we're approaching 124 miles an hour. No wires here. The wires in this route finish at Airport Junction just outside Hayes and Harlington. So what I've done is, for sort of realism, this is either, but realism, any train electric, so the 375s, which I'm pretending the 387s won't go any further than Hayes and Harlington for that sort of effect of oh, brakes, what am I doing? Wrong and a lapse of concentration, completely chose the wrong controller. Whoops. Fast approaching Langley. So this is the last station before Slough on the down direction. Down coming out of London. You always go up to London in most cases. Well, you always come to London. This is Dolphin Junction, the main junction just in between Langley and Slough. Fastly approaching Slough at 100. So lots going on there. So I got the vigilance, and then I also got the adequate acknowledgement for the 40 mile an hour to cross me over onto the relief lines, which I wasn't going to do anyway, because the signals would move. Well, can do, because the signals can still be green and you go up and you get the feathers. Right, going through Slough at 126 miles an hour, so let's just move power off a little bit. Yeah, turbo from Reading. I think that one terminates at Hayes and Harlington. I think that's the last I think that's the last train you see now, other than the HST that leaves at 20 past, I think it leaves. So that shouldn't be too far away, actually. Unless we've passed it and I've just missed it. We should be coming past by now. But oh no, it might have been 25 past. I might have had it leave at 25 past. We do a steady climb now between Slough and Reading. So what on the 2+6 on the timetable mode, I tend to be able to keep in notch 3, and at 125 it tends to steadily stay at 125. But this is a 2+8, so I'm not sure if I can use the same principles. And they've changed they have had a dabble with changing the characteristics of the HST, because they were finding it wasn't quite quick enough. Burnham. I always want to keep saying Highbridge and Burnham, but Highbridge and Burnham is a station in Somerset. So, also on the Great Western Route. Ah, there it is. So that is, I'm sure, yeah, that is it the 25 past 10? Or is it 20 past 10? Let's say 5 minutes, is that enough? I don't think it is. It takes 5 minutes to get to Twyford. No, that must be 20 past 10. And, here we are approaching Taplow. Steady running at 125 miles an hour. as you can see, I use manual control, so I'll try and be as realistic as possible by moving the and pushing all the buttons as best I can with the cursor. I don't use immersion mode. I can't get on with it at all. I don't feel like I'm driving the train. I feel like I'm just playing an arcade game. So, and that's no disrespect to anyone that does that. That is completely your call. If that's what you're comfortable with, that's absolutely fine. But I'm not comfortable with it. I prefer playing it like this. I absolutely love playing it like this. Approaching Maidenhead. Maybe that's the last turbo one. Okay. Yeah, that must be the last turbo that I set up on the Dane. That's the Hayes and Harlington Terminator. The other one that I saw back that I thought was the last one goes through to London. So now there's a bit of a long run between stations here. Keep it steady at 125. So I've got it in notch 4 at the moment. As we climb the gradient, as you can see, we've got a gradient to climb. Like I say, normally on a 2+6 I keep it in notch 3 and it tends to stay steady at 125, but I don't think I'm lucky enough with the 2+8. It's slightly different, and again, like I say, I've changed the power characteristics of the HST now, so I might have to relearn my driving tactics. I have noticed this is a bit sprite here. One of the other things I wish they'd use is the vibration facilities on the console, because all the console controllers should have a vibration, and it'd be nice if there was some sort of vibration, like when you go over points and maybe when you're braking a bit steady or there's wheel slip, it vibrates to kind of get that feeling. But I appreciate that means what becomes unfair then is you can't really have that with PC unless you're using a controller. So I kind of understand a little bit why it's not there, but it's a nice little. It would have been a nice little thing to have, especially for us console owners who do sort of miss out a little bit. The PC version is a bit enhanced, more services. Although you can get the service on Great Western if you do a little bit of a trick, which we found out. But also you can put mods on it, and the Livery Editor is nothing really new because you can put mods on and change your skins anyway on PC. So and you could swap trains. So it's, you know, it's nothing really new for PC owners. It's just now you can do it officially, and now console owners get to reap that benefit, so to speak. But it's still limited. So you know, Ruscombe. There it goes. So Ruscombe Village, which is just east of Twyford, because we're travelling east to west, or sort of northwest-ish, not really, sort of western. We're going west basically. Oh, speeding slightly, stop the power off. Here we go through Twyford. It always baffles me how it's 125 on the fast lines, yet you have to, you sort of skew round in the fast lines of Twyford, but the relief lines, which is 90 max, straight, and you stop most of the time. That's always baffled me. But hey. So we're about 4 or 5 minutes outside Reading. I can't remember which platform we're going on this one. You got to be careful because there's a bit of a TPWS trap as you roll into Reading on some of the platforms. So I'll probably have to decide what platform we're going to decide how to drive. So I'm going to power off as we approach Woodbridge, is it? Let's approach Sonning Cutty. There is a AWS PSR magnet for the PSR reminder to say that we're dropping to 95. I've already powered off So I've already started to decelerate as we come through Sonic Cut. And there it is, look. So I'll start to put a bit of brake on. I know if you've got the hood on, it does tell you where all the speeds are. But I've driven this that many times, I'm used to it now. So there we go, 95. Got reduced aspect coming up, double yellow. Let's get ready to cancel that on the AWS. And then the next speed is 60. This tells me I'm going into a crappy platform. You see, when you do some of these timetable modes and they go into the West Country bound platforms, you normally you can go in quite quick and you don't get the trap. But I think this one, I've got the TSW2 trap on. It's not set properly. For some reason it's set to 10 mile an hour, which is a bit poo, because you can actually go faster and still stop safely. So you've got to be a bit cautious. Oh no, I'm going to, oh brilliant, I'm going into the West Country platforms. Lovely. So I can be a bit, that's the AWS for the yellow. It's 50 into the platforms. As it's wet as well, I don't try not to be too cocky. Get out. Which one am I going into? Oh. Oh yeah, there's already a train on the platforms. That was the one that left at 10 o'clock. God. This ain't stopping very quick, is it? Approaching the red that's the problem. Threw the brakes on a little bit too hard there. Panicked a bit because of the wet as well. So we'll just sodle up to the as you can see, that's 10 o'clock. That was the double set that left at 10:05. Just draw down to the signal. Staggering 5 miles an hour. I thought I'd be going to that platform to the left because that's got slightly longer to stop, as you can see. And voila, there we are. Like the doors, have a quick look while the journey. As you can see, we're here at Reading with a nice collection of trains. No wires, not spoilt or anything. Take a quick picture while I'm waiting for the level to finish. And that'll finish now because I've took that service over and finished it. So there we go. So yeah, thanks for joining me and thanks for having a bit of a run round with me. I much appreciate it. So that's my scenario. As you can see, I've tried to be quite liberal with the trains. It's all worked out quite nice and that's all finished. Wicked. Brilliant. Stop accuracy 3.47. God, if I got any closer, I would have spatted the signal. I suppose there is a bit of room for me to have drew a bit closer. It's always hard to tell when you're in the cab how much room you've got. But yeah, I was being a bit cautious with the wet. You know, you've got to be careful because you do get the adhesion. So there we go. Thank you very much for joining me. Hope you found some of this video useful. I know most of it does look like I'm blabbering and driving around, but I'm hoping that there's things that you see as you're going through the video that you think, oh, I didn't know that, or oh, actually, I'll try that, or oh, hang on, I didn't realise. And that's the main reason why I do this. You know, it may seem like I'm just blabbering on a bit, but actually, I'm trying to get people more exposure to the sim, and they might find things they didn't know, or they might hear things that they didn't know, or see things. Well, oh yeah, no, and that's what this is all about. It may just seem like I'm gabbling on, but actually, I want people to experience the game in the way I experience it, in the way I drive, which they think, oh, I might try that. Well, actually, that's not a bad idea. So, you know, if it seems like they're long-winded or boring, then I apologise. You don't have to watch them, of course. I'm grateful if you do. So thank you for joining me. I will speak to you soon. What's